Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're actually going to go and look at some of the services that you can offer to other internet marketers and entrepreneurs. Now you'll notice here that we are in the Warrior Forum, and if you look at the address that we are in the warriorforum.com. Now you may or may not have an account at the Warrior Forum. In some cases you may want to get an account so that you can go here and offer some of these services, but we're actually going to be talking about how you can offer them in a different way. But you do want to come to the Warrior Forum so that you can understand what other marketers are looking for in the service. Now you notice here that I've gone inside of the Warrior Forum. I've gone inside of a particular forum that's called the Warriors for Hire, and I'm actually going to show you how you get to that forum right now. Now, you are looking at the Warrior Forum, and what you're going to do is you're going to look at the very front part of the forum. You want to look for this subforum called Warriors for Hire. When you get there, you're going to see that you get to actually search the forum, and you want to go inside of the forum and then click search this forum. You then want to do an advanced search. When you get there, what you're going to do is you're going to actually put in the terms that you want to search for. And the way that I do it is I like to look for the titles only in my search. And this will actually give me those results that I'm really looking for. Otherwise, you can get a lot of irrelevant results. You're going to notice here right away that I've actually gone and I've looked for video creation in Warriors for Hire. And you notice that there are quite a few results here. There are 63 total, and you get a chance to see those people that are actually creating video for other people. And you can look at that and look at some of their listings to see what they're looking for. One of the great things about the Warrior Forum is you'll actually get to see some of the replies and how people created the service, maybe what they did and did not do fully when they were servicing customers. You'll also see here that I can actually put in here creation. Right, and you can see there are people who just do the creation process. I've also done a search for voiceover, and so again, if you've got audio equipment and you can actually do the actual voiceover, you can go inside of the Warrior Forum again to see what a service looks like. I understand that you can do any of these services on Fiverr that may or may not necessarily be the market that you're looking for. You can do that, but what we're talking about is creating the service that other internet marketers want so that you understand how to do it for their business. I'm actually going to show you here. Here's someone who's offering a webinar service. Right, you can see what they're looking for. They've actually got their tools on the Warriors for Hire section. Right, so they're offering a webinar service. You can also see that there's someone who writes sales copy. Quite a few people there. You look at their 70 listings, and these are people that rewrite or write sales copy. So if you are confident in the way that you write or rewrite sales copy, maybe you want to do it for people who already have PLR, you can actually do that and offer that service here inside of the Warrior Forum, or you can offer services that mirror these that are in the Warrior Forum. You'll see here that here's someone who understands how to put a membership site together. So this is someone who obviously understands whether it's optimized press or whatever membership site software that's out there. If you have that software, you can actually offer the service to be able to set people up in their membership site. You can see here that here's someone looking for somebody who understands ClickFunnels. So if you understand ClickFunnels and you understand how to get people set up and how to get people operating, that's a service that you can offer. You can offer Facebook ad management. So again, now you do need to understand how this actually works, but once again, it is a service that you can offer people in addition to actually doing the actual work of doing your own Facebook ads. And one of the things I want to show you right here is that here's someone who actually does interviews, and they actually give you some of the assets that go along with it, and you can buy an interview service. Right? They'll do a third-party interview of you. So basically, you want to poke around the Warrior Forum so you can find out what marketers are looking for. Go to the Warriors for Hire section. In some cases, you can go to the classified ad section. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually get a look at how to offer a real service that you can actually take some of the products that you already have and turn them into services for other people. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. You are now looking at the Warrior Forum, and we are looking here because this is going to be one way for you to list your services to other internet marketers. And you notice that there is a form here called the Warrior Special Offer Form. And the form that you're going to be looking at, actually you're going to look at two. You're going to look at the Warriors for Hire section. You're going to look at the Warrior Classified Ad section. Both will cost you $20 to list a particular service there. And in the Warriors for Hire section, you want to take a look at some of the other ads, as we've talked about in another video, and structure yours accordingly. You're also going to want to look at the classified ad section, and you're going to want to list something and structure it accordingly. Now, that's not going to be the only way for you to be able to list what it is that you're going to do, and it's actually not even the most effective way. Now, Muncheye.com is a site where you are going to find out about future launches, and you're going to be able to find out about them before they happen. And these are going to be the people that may be open to something that you are going to do. And so you want to find out who's going to have something that you are going to have, a service that is going to be relevant for them to offer to their customers. And as you can see here, from the next 10 days, you probably got over 5,100 launches. So there are lots of opportunities here for you to be able to offer a service. You can do the same thing inside of another site called JV Notify Pro. The idea behind the site is the same thing. You are going to be finding out who's going to have a product that is going to fit what it is that you are actually going to do. Once you understand these sites, you can actually go and look at products that have already been launched, not only in JVZoo and Warrior Plus, but you can also take a look at products that have been launched in ClickBank. And there are going to be lots of different kinds of products being offered here, digital products. And again, if you have a service that's going to be relevant to the customers that are going to be buying this, this is where you're going to want to reach out to the vendor. So if we have a vendor, let's say that we pick one of these vendors and we look at them and we see that they've got a product here. And what's going to happen is they're going to have a joint venture page. We're going to go and check out that joint venture page. They're then going to have something where you can actually contact them. Typically, you're going to find that there at the bottom. You're going to want to reach out to them by the means that they have set up to be reached out to. And when you reach out, you're just going to write a little note there. Hey, I noticed you've got a service launching next month. Maybe you want to put the date in there. Talk about what it is you do, make it brief, make it clear about what it is you do, and then just make a pitch. Hey, I wonder if you have a way for your customers to actually get this done for them. If not, I'd like to talk to you for being able to set these up for your launch. You want to show them some of the previous work, or at least some of the people who have seen you do this work before. You have some testimonials, and then just ask them when a good time to talk might be. Right? Make it easy for them to contact you, right? Give them Skype, Facebook, your mobile number, and email, and then reach out to them. And then maybe you want to wait a little while, and then just kind of see where that leaves you. You can do this as many times as you want to, as many products as you see that you feel comfortable that you'd be able to offer the kind of service that their customers might be interested in. Now, even though you're going to have these various ads in various places, you are going to want to have your own page. We are going to cover that in a future video in this course. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome to the hands-on session for part 2. And we talked about turning your webinar attendance into an actual product. Now, most of everything you're going to be able to do to get started, you're going to be able to do inside of Google Docs or the Microsoft Office suite if you have it. You'll need to start by creating an outline on maybe slides, or if you want to do it on Google Docs. And once you create your slides and your docs, then what you're going to do is you're going to start creating videos. And in order to do that, you're going to need to be able to record your screen. Now, there are a couple of programs that you can do that. Most internet marketers and entrepreneurs will use Camtasia. However, there is a $300 price tag to Camtasia. You can get the free trial, which will last for 30 days. That will give you time to go ahead and record your videos. Hopefully, if you can sell the course, then you'll be able to have your fee for Camtasia in order to activate it permanently. Now, if you don't want to upgrade to Camtasia and $300 is too spicy of a price, you can do programs like Screencast-O-Matic. Now, they do have an activation fee. They don't do as much in terms of editing, but you can actually get your video recorded where you are actually recording your screen on a program like Screencast-O-Matic. If you are a Mac user, you can use the program called ScreenFlow. And ScreenFlow also has a free trial available. Now, some people are using Open Broadcaster software, which is the software that is used in order to broadcast to Facebook Live. There is a recording feature there. In order to do that, then you'll need to start streaming and then hit record. Pretty much works the same way, and you are going to create a video at the end. Another way to create screen share video, you can actually do it on Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is free. You can actually take the video that you get from Google Hangouts and then use it once you start the editing process. You're going to record your Google Hangouts, you're going to do your screen sharing, and then your video is going to appear inside of your YouTube channel. And you'll see it here, and then all you'll do when you get to the YouTube channel, you'll just click that download MP4 and you'll be able to download your video and you'll be able to start the editing process once you are complete. Now, YouTube itself has for free some limited video editing capabilities. If you don't want to pay for one or you don't necessarily have the capital to do that, you can check into this video editor to see if it does everything you'll need to do. Of course, you'll need to upload your video to YouTube and then start the editing process there. Now, Camtasia will also allow you to create MP3 audios to give your customer along with the videos. You can do the same thing inside of ScreenFlow. There are free programs that will help you to strip the audio from your YouTube video. It'll be the same thing. You do want to be careful with those programs and make sure that they do not give you any virus. Now, you are going to need to then host your files in order to deliver to your customer. You can use a site like Dropbox if you don't have one. You can also use Google Drive, which is available to you. There is also a more commercial solution in Amazon S3 where you will be able to store your services in the cloud, or you'll be able to store your files there, and then you'll need to create a file or a link from there into wherever you're delivering the actual product. Now, you are going to need an interface for Amazon S3. Most marketers use Cloudberry Lab Server. If you go to cloudberrylab.com, you can actually get a free interface that you'll be able to use for Amazon S3. You can get that there, and you'll see it there. It says Cloudberry Explorer Freeware, and you'll be able to use it. In most cases, you will not need the Pro version. You can pretty much get along with the Explorer Freeware, and that will allow you to interface with Amazon S3. It'll allow you to upload your files to Amazon S3. It'll also allow you to create a link that your customer can use. Now, here is what is important about Amazon S3. Amazon S3 is going to be pay as you go. So as much as you have use, people are going to be kind of creating your pricing. So this is not going to be a standard. You're not going to have flat fee pricing, nor is it free. You are going to be charged for your usage. But for the most part, Amazon S3 is very reasonable in terms of its usage and its pricing. So you might want to test Amazon S3, but if you're going to have a lot of traffic, probably want to get a handle on how much that's going to be before you commit. So in order to actually deliver the product, in order to edit the pages that you're going to have, in order to create a page or a thank you page or a place where people can go get their files, you're going to need an HTML editor. And if you don't have one already, there are a lot of free ones online. And again, buyer beware with this. Make sure that you're getting one that is reliable and one that's not going to give you a virus. But you are going to be able then to edit your HTML pages so that you'll be able to put the links in there to give to your customers. Now, if you have Dreamweaver or you have Composer or you have some other alternative, then that's fine. You can use it. But if you don't have one, there are a lot of free ones out there that you'll be able to get. Just type in HTML editor and then you'll be able to edit the page. What some people do is on a monthly basis, they'll pay Adobe Creative Cloud. One thing you'll want to be aware of is that they're going to ask for a year's commitment up front. They're going to give you quite a bit of software, but it is pretty spicy in terms of the price. Some people will get a single application and they will actually get it here. If you want to use Dreamweaver or something like that, you can do that at $19 a month. But again, you want to make sure that you're going to have use of it and you're going to be using it on a continual basis, because again, this is going to be a year's commitment when you actually get Adobe Creative Cloud. But it's worth looking into because a lot of these software programs are going to be useful to you if you're going to be creating products like this one on a regular basis. One in particular that you're probably going to use is going to be Photoshop. And Photoshop is going to give you the ability to create graphical images. Remember, graphical images are going to be very important to your being able to give your customer a visual sense of what it is that they're buying. And in some cases, you can get Photoshop Creative Cloud for $9.99 a month. You might want to get it along with a second application, but this is going to be important. Now, there are software programs that will do the same thing that Photoshop will do in a limited sense. There's one called eCover Authority. I mean, again, now you're not going to be paying on a monthly basis, which is going to be fantastic, and you're going to actually be able to get this at a reasonable price. It is something that will do a lot of what you're going to need to have done as an internet marketer. Ultimately, though, you're going to have a lot more flexibility if you know and learn how to use a program like Photoshop. Now, there are some other things that you're going to need in order to complete this process. One is a shopping cart experience, or a way to deliver your product once a customer actually clicks their button. Now, you can use PayPal, but there are programs out there like Genius Marketing Pro that will deliver your product. There are programs like Rapid Action Profits, which is not cloud-based, which actually operates on your server, and you'll be able to create a shopping cart experience. This is an older program, a little complicated to use, but it does allow you to save lots of costs when you actually start to use it. And then there's also ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is about $97 a month for the lower level. This will give you the shopping cart experience and something else called one-click upsells. This is also available through a program called Digital Access Pass. If you'd rather use a WordPress platform, you can actually deliver your customer through this shopping cart experience. Now, they're going to be paying through PayPal, but you're going to be creating all that on your site. Now, you can create a shopping cart experience through affiliate networks like Warrior Plus. These sites are going to have you to pay a fee for every time someone buys, but again, this will give your customer something secure that they'll get their product, they'll be able to go back in a login and get it, and you'll be able to get affiliates to promote it if it's something that they like. You can also use a site like the Warrior Forum. The Warrior Forum also has its own affiliate program. It has its own shopping cart system that you can actually deliver your product to your customer as well as recruit affiliates. The same thing is true of ClickBank. ClickBank is a marketplace where you can list your product as well as recruit affiliates, as is JVZoo. JVZoo stands out as one of the leaders because customers are able to get their product immediately, and most of the commissions are paid immediately. So affiliates like to promote products on the JVZoo network. Now, you're also going to need a page builder system. Once again, Rapid Action Profits happens all on your server. It's a downloadable program. You will be able to use that. They have limited capability. It's my understanding that they are doing an update, but as of right now, that has not been done. But everything can be done on Rapid Action Profits if you know HTML. If you don't, this is going to be a little difficult to learn right off the bat and probably won't be considered to be something for someone who is brand new to internet marketing. ClickFunnels is the same thing. In addition to offering you a shopping cart experience, you will also have a drag and drop page builder. The same thing is going to be true with InstaBuilder. InstaBuilder is actually a WordPress plugin where you are going to be able to use InstaBuilder to create your pages and then deliver your customer their product. Now, the delivery process doesn't happen inside of InstaBuilder. All that's really going to happen here is going to be that you are going to create your page. And as you can see, their product is listed on ClickBank. Now, there is also Optimized Press, which is a very intuitive program to use. Now, the thing about Optimized Press is it can be a little pricey in order to get started, but it is fairly easy to use, fairly easy to understand. The same thing is going to be true of Genius Marketing Pro. There's a monthly fee attached to Genius Marketing Pro. So again, if that's not something that you're interested in, there are all these other alternatives that we have mentioned. So that is pretty much what you're going to need in order to execute part 2. Now, in our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about what you're going to do to get into some of the particulars in executing this plan. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to go over just some basics in terms of writing the sales letter. And what you see here is that there is a Google search. And the Google search that was done was for David Fry, 12-step sales letter. And you can find any one of these entries. This sales letter formula was probably written back in the 2000s. And so you can actually look to any of these places to get David Fry's 12-step sales letter. So what you're going to see is that you are going to see that David Fry has a list of things that he is suggesting that you do. And these are going to be the 12 points that you're going to follow in just about any sales letter. So if you look at this outline, this is going to help you to be able to take your concept and then turn it into a sales letter. And so the other thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go to a site like JVZoo, and you're going to be able to go and find out how you can then look to JVZoo and reverse engineer a sales letter. So let's do that right now. Now what I'm going to do when I get inside of JVZoo is that I am going to start looking for a product that is going to be as close to the one that I want to launch as possible, whether or not it's going to be the actual product itself, or whether or not it's going to be one that is going to be in the same category. For instance, if you are launching a webinar software, then you want to find another webinar software that's going to be similar to yours. And what you're going to do is just take a look at some of the top selling products. When you do that, you're going to go inside here, and for instance, let's go inside this one. And then we're going to take a look, and then we're going to look at the sales page. When we get to the sales page, we're going to actually see, I'm going to stop this from playing right now, and we're going to take a look at how we can actually look to replicate a sales letter that's like this, and then combine elements of copy from David Fry's 12-step sales letter. So one of the first things we're going to do is we are going to go and we're going to take a look to see how they actually created the sales letter. And this is always, you always want to do this. You always want to take a look to find out, what kind of software was used to create it. Sometimes you might even have the same software. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see here. And it looks as if this was not a WordPress theme. This is going to be some kind of software that was actually done, created from HTML, which is fine. But we can actually replicate this in another way. What we're really concerned with right now is we're going to be concerned with a copy. We see that there's a headline, we see that there's a video, and then we see that there are some strips and test blocks. But what we want to follow is what's happening in the actual copy and what is convincing to other people, and even sometimes some of the placement of the images. And we can actually do some of the same placement. You'll notice that a lot of this is going to be screenshots. Some of it is going to be images. Some of these are going to be images that were picked up from other places. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do. Right? Some of these were taken from some actual screenshots that were done with the actual product. So once again, these are the 3 things you're going to need to do. Number 1, you're going to make sure to pick up David Fry's 12-step bulletproof sales letter. Number 2, you're going to go inside of JVZoo and you're going to take a look to find out what some of the other sales letters are like, what their layout is. And number 3, you are going to take a look to find out what they were actually created in. Okay, and then that will give you a head start in terms of creating your own sales letter with your own sales builder software. Now, if you don't have sales builder software, often you can do this if you know some HTML, or you can actually have your sales letter outsourced. But the purpose of looking at this is to know what goes into the copy, first of all, and second of all, then what you're going to do in terms of the layout of your site. And once you've done that, then you will have a good sense for what will work well for your product. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, one of the things that we have talked about is mentioning the difference between proof and social proof. And so while we're on this sales letter, I do want to highlight what we're talking about so that you can do the same thing in your sales letters. And so you can see how this works psychologically on the person who is actually reading the sales letter, or even if they're not even processing it, you know what's happening. So let's go into this sales letter, because none of this is really all that random. And Anthony Morrison actually does sales letters and actually runs traffic from television. And so you know that if he's going to get involved in something, it's got to have a sense that it's going to convert. And you want to have an idea that when you start sending traffic to a particular sales page, you put a lot of work into your product. You want to know that if the only thing holding the person back would be your sales letter, you want to make sure your sales letter is done to the best of your ability. So let's talk about these two concepts of proof and social proof in this particular video. Now, you're going to notice here that both Anthony and Luke, they're going to mention that they are 6 to 7 figure income earners. Right now, that's not necessarily verifiable in a sense, but you probably have a sense that maybe they're probably telling the truth. We could probably say that that could be considered to be proof, but what they're trying to do is to establish credibility. But again, this is an element of proof, and that element of proof needs to be in your sales letter. The other thing you're going to see is this, right? Facebook Live is the fastest growing video streaming service. That's probably verifiable, right? Now, they're not going to give you statistics here, but they're making a claim about Facebook. Has nothing to do with their product, has nothing to do with whether or not their product is going to work. What they're selling you on here is that Facebook Live is a place that you want to be. Setting you up that you need to get this product so that you can be someplace where people are actually going to be, where the fastest growing video streaming service is going to be. And so you are going to see here that they're going to make a claim here. And you and I, whether or not we read this, we do process it. Facebook live streams are watched 3 times as long as any other video. With Facebook Live being the fastest growing live streaming service in the world, is something you need to be on right now. Now again, these two statements, right? Facebook Live streams are watched 3 times as long as any other device. Facebook Live, and again, they make the claim again. They're re-emphasizing this fact that this is something that's happening. Now, the other thing they're going to do is, again, we're going to do more proof, right? And this is more proof that live streaming is a place you want to be. So they're talking about live streaming. They're talking about Periscope. They're talking about Snapchat. They're talking about Twitch and Blab and YouTube Live and webinars. And so this, again, is the concept. They're talking about the concept of live streaming. Again, live streaming is big. That's the proof. Facebook live streaming is big. That's even more proof. And so now, since their product is about Facebook Live, you're going to get the idea, or you're going to get the sense that, well, man, maybe this is someplace I need to be. Now, you're going to see here in this image that they have taken the proof and they've made it visual, right? So they've got more information about live streaming. Again, as you move down the sales letter, what they are trying to do is to make sure that you understand exactly what's happening with live streaming, so that you'll be set up to think about, well, maybe I do need to get involved with Facebook Live if I'm not involved. And if I am involved in Facebook Live, then I want to consider this product. Maybe I already know this information. So let's go on. Now, even though they're talking about a benefit, personal branding, they're actually mixing this with an element of proof and social proof. In other words, look, Dwayne The Rock is on here, right? Dwayne The Rock Johnson is on here. So if he can be on here and he figures it's Facebook Live is worth being on, maybe I need to be on it too. That's the idea. That's what they're trying to communicate here. I mean, there is more in this sales letter, and it's a great example of how you're going to use proof and social proof. Now, let's move on. Again, this sounds like a personal testimony. This sounds like something that actually happened. I noticed Mark Zuckerberg himself do a behind-the-scenes tour of Facebook. But really what this is it's more proof, right? They're adding proof. In other words, Mark Zuckerberg himself is actually using. Now you might say, well, Mark Zuckerberg is head of Facebook. He would do that. But again, all this is really doing psychologically is it's saying that, hey, this big celebrity uses live streaming. This big celebrity uses live stream for their company. They're using Facebook Live. Why are you not using it? Once again, you see more proof here in the form of benefits. So this is really powerful because instead of giving you bullets, benefit bullets, they're actually giving you benefit bullets laden with social proof. So when you do your sales letter, you can consider that you can actually give benefit bullets, but you can add in the fact that other people are using this same thing. And he didn't necessarily go and get the people that are using his product. Understand that. So this is not a testimonial. This is, hey, other people are using this medium. Take a look at this. And then they're adding that to your standard benefit bullet and then giving it graphics on top of it, right? So, and the graphics are not hard to create. The graphics are really just screenshots, right? So again, this element of proof is over and over in this product. And as you move through the sales letter, you're being psychologically conditioned that this is really something that you want to consider. Okay, more social proof or more proof, right? Statistics have shown that Facebook, that people view Facebook live streams 300% longer than any other form of video. It's the best part of Facebook Live. Facebook never deletes your video, right? So again, they're telling you about Facebook Live. They're giving you like a feature and a benefit, but they're actually saying, again, this is more proof that this is some place that you need to be. So once again, you're really being bombarded with proof and social proof all over again. Now again, here's another claim. I don't know if this is verifiable. You could probably go back to his Facebook page to figure out, hey, I actually used my own product and this is what I did. Now, this is someone who is using Facebook Live. They're the vendor of the product, and they're talking about their experience with Facebook Live. So once again, if you're not sold on Facebook Live, you're going to be by the end of this sales letter. And then you'll start talking about, then there's Anthony Morrison coming in and talking about training. So you'll recognize here that this is the problem being introduced to you, and then they're going to start talking about some of the evidence that occurred, right, when they actually used their own product. So there aren't a lot of testimonials at this point, but they're telling you, well, hey, this is what happened when we used our own product. Once again, very powerful, especially because they've already gotten results with what their product actually does. Again, if you start thinking about this, this is really one of the best ways graphically, or even if you were to just write it out, this is going to have an effect on the people who are reading your sales letter. Now, we see screenshots and and lots of people say that you can fake screenshots. Maybe they fake screenshots. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? But there's just more. It's more psychological proof. It's graphical, and it's not the only element that this relies on. If this was at the very top, if you just said, well, how to make $304 or $400 on average every day, and the whole page was relying upon that, then you might think that's subject to question. But this is just a small part of the proof. If they didn't have that, they'd still have social proof. But once again, this is really just adding to the proof of the entire page. And all that happens before they introduce the product to you in the sales letter, right? So once again, if you understand proof and how you can implement it in your sales letter, this is really, again, how the brain works. They're establishing credibility. They're establishing the fact that this is a place you want to be, and then introducing the product to you. Now, one of the best elements of proof is going to be this little demo here. And so you're going to see this here. You can turn on this demo and you're going to actually see, we're not going to go through the whole thing here, but they're demoing the product. They're showing it to you. They're showing it to you at work, showing it to you doing what it is supposed to do. Again, this is something that anyone can do. Anyone can show their product at work. And again, it's working on the person who is on the sales letter and reading it. And all of that happens before you even get into features and benefits. All the other things are just style and features and benefits. This is the thing that you have traditionally heard you've got to do in your copy, what's going to be in the product and what people are going to get. Again, you're going to do all that stuff anyway, right? But understand the basis of proof and social proof in this sales letter, and I think you'll understand how you can beef up what it is that you're doing and what it is that you can actually add to in terms of urgency before a person even gets to the point where they're looking at price. The price isn't given until the very end because the value needs to be built up. And of course, some people are not even going to read this sales letter, but some people are. And the people who are going to read through this sales letter, or at least scroll through it, they're going to be given a powerful sense of value before they even get to the end. Okay, so 2 sets of buy buttons then, PS, PPS, and then that's the end of the sales letter. So I hope that this has been helpful for you in terms of being able to dive into the psychology of a sales letter, how you can be more effective in how you write it, and especially understanding the elements of proof and social proof. And one of the things that is necessary to conclude this video by saying is this. You'll notice that there are no testimonials on this page. So testimonials are not so much the issue. The issue is providing people with proof that the concept works, social proof that this product has worked for some people, and the social proof is actually generated by the people who created the product. So you don't have to have testimonials if you have fantastic proof and if you have proof that the concept is going to work for people because of the scientific evidence that people are on, in this case, Facebook Live, whatever it is you're talking about. You want to have those elements in your sales letter. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.